What rules were put in place because of you? My high school had this ancient policy where if you got detention, you could bring educational materials to work on during your hour. Most kids just stared at textbooks or pretended to do homework. But when I got detention for being late the third time that semester, I decided to test the system. I walked in carrying my beat-up Fender acoustic guitar. Mrs. Delgado, the detention monitor, immediately shook her head. Absolutely not. Books and homework only. I pulled out my worn student handbook that I'd highlighted the night before. Page 47. Students serving detention may bring educational materials to work on during their assigned time. I'm in AP Music Theory. This is literally my homework. She squinted at the handbook, then at me, then back at the handbook. Her jaw tightened, but she couldn't find a counter-argument. Fine, but if you're disruptive, you're out. For the next hour, I sat in the back corner practicing scales and working through chord progressions for my upcoming music theory exam. It was honestly the most productive detention I'd ever served. A few kids kept glancing over, probably wondering how I'd pulled it off. Word spread fast. The next week when I showed up for detention again, there were already 2 other kids with guitars. Mrs. Delgado's eye twitched when she saw them, but she couldn't say anything without admitting she'd already approved it. By week 3, someone brought a keyboard and set it up on one of those collapsible stands. The administration didn't notice at first because detention was in this isolated room near the loading dock. We kept the volume reasonable and actually practiced, but then it started growing. Within a month, detention had 12 regular attendees and 8 of them brought instruments. The real chaos started when Miguel Santos showed up with a full 5-piece drum set. Mrs. Delgado stood in the doorway, blocking him. "There is no way you're bringing that in here." Miguel, who'd clearly done his homework, calmly replied, "Educational materials. No size restrictions listed. I'm in jazz band and we have a performance in 2 weeks. This is my practice time." She called the vice principal. He came down, read the handbook, and told Miguel he could stay. The look on Mrs. Delgado's face was priceless. That's when detention transformed into something else entirely. We started coordinating who brought what. Someone brought a bass. Another kid brought an amp but kept it on low volume. We weren't just practicing individually anymore. We were actually playing together. By third quarter, things had gotten weird. Our detention room started getting better attendance than the actual music class. Kids were purposely showing up late to first period or skipping study hall just to get detention. The music teacher, Mr. Wallace, noticed half his advanced students were suddenly absent every Thursday and Friday afternoon. He confronted the vice principal. "My classroom is empty because detention has better acoustics and apparently no curriculum requirements. Students are literally choosing punishment over my class." The administration panicked. They couldn't have detention becoming more popular than actual classes. Principal Hoffman called an emergency meeting with the school board. I know because my mom was on the board and came home laughing about it. 2 weeks later, they rolled out the new handbook. Educational materials now specifically means textbooks, workbooks, approved reading materials, or writing implements. Musical instruments, art supplies, sports equipment, and electronics are expressly prohibited. They added an entire page of restrictions and examples. They even included a diagram. Mrs. Delgado posted the new rules on the detention room door with clear satisfaction. But here's the thing. By then, it was too late. The 5 of us who'd started the whole thing, we'd been playing together for 3 months. We'd learned each other's styles, figured out our sound, and actually gotten pretty good. We formed a band that spring, called ourselves Detention Block as a joke. Started playing local coffee shops and small venues. Miguel's still on drums. I'm still on guitar. We graduated 2 years ago, and we're still playing shows together every month. Last week, we played our old high school's Battle of the Bands competition. Principal Hoffman was there. After our set, he came up and said, "You know, I should have just let you keep the guitars." We all laughed. Mrs. Delgado was there too. She didn't say anything, but I swear I saw her smiling.